everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from StitchSlowly.com. Welcome to this very exciting project. I am going to be showing you from start to finish how to create a slow stitch design, and by using Wattle and Loop, which is one of my favorite kits that I've used, that I think I've made about, I'm guessing by now, probably 8 or 9. And it was a way to learn how to actually create these designs so that I could eventually also do my own. What's nice about these kits, they come in a package, and they come with beautiful instructions, and you can go through this and see what it looks like from start to finish. And they come with the background fabric and a little beautiful little envelopes with all the fabrics that you find for the actual piece itself. You might have your own, you might want to add to it, that's fine. There's nothing set in stone. They also provide all the threads you need, the color threads, and a needle, and a little package. So it's a little package with the needle and the needle threader. I love this one because it's unusual, the background fabric. Usually it's a plain piece of fabric. This has some design to it. It's so I thought this was going to be this will be great fun. And I do really love, I'm going to use the word love, sunflowers. It's one of my favorite flowers. So what I'll show you where we start. We're going to start with a light box. Okay, this is how I do it. So I'll show you how I've been making these. So it comes with the actual design itself, template to work from, and then I tape it down, and then I take a piece of just simple basic printing paper and I put it right on top. Make sure it's even. I tape that down. Now I'm going to turn on my light box. Should be able to see through it. And it helps, if you're somebody who says, well, I want to try and do my own thing, which is perfectly fine, but I actually felt like I needed a little bit of guidance before, and to build my confidence. So as you can see in some of my other videos that I've used many of them in my own design now because of the help of Wattle and Loop. I asked Wattle and Loop if I could actually do this video. I just felt like this is the perfect example for those who are starting out. And some of them are even simpler. So I think they have quite a few designs you can choose from, and some more basic. This isn't too difficult. So okay, so I got it so you could see. You probably can't see through as maybe you can see when I pick it up. Okay. And then what I do is I take a permanent marker to trace onto the printing paper. You can even you don't have to do the printing paper. You can actually get some tracing paper that's thinner. But I like for this one in particular, because I needed a thicker type of paper because it's going to be used many, many times over. And then I start to trace. You can even go with a thinner, if you'd like, a thinner marker. But it's black. Make sure it's black so it's easy to see. And I'll be taking you on this journey from start to finish. As you can see, I've traced the template onto the piece of paper. Now I'm going to take it off. And remove the actual template, because now I don't need it only as more of a guide at this point. Once you're finished with once you've completed the actual design itself, let me turn this off. You can see where they have some thread. They have a guide, another guide for where you might want to sew your threads. So to add a little color and vibrancy and fun. And I did trace some of it onto this template. Oops, now I have to take a but I probably missed a few spots. Not a problem, because I'm not going to worry about that for right now, because the first step is to transfer get the fabrics onto the background fabric, and then you can play with the embellishments later. So we come back to this later. Now you can see this is what I've done. The next step is I take the actual background fabric and place it on top. Now what's interesting is you'll see, is this big enough? Yeah, it is big enough. What happens is some of the pieces of petals overlap or come off of the background fabric, so it's been cut, and so it's actually the perfect size, and that's fine. That works out really well. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to tape this back down, which I just took off. Oh, maybe I'll, oops. So the next step now is I want you to remove this marker that we've just used, the indelible marker, which you cannot see, yeah, and put it away, because you don't want to accidentally use it on the fabric, because then you're done for. That fabric's there's nothing you can do at that point. So what I do is I then take my erasable, I use the blue, because that stays for a longer period. That actually stays until you wash it off. Let me see if I have my blue. Yes. So I have my blue. Okay. And then what I'm doing next is I'm going to then tape down this piece so that it doesn't move, and tape the background fabric on top of this. Oh, you know what I didn't do? But I'll turn off and I'll come back, is I'll trace the outer edge onto here, so I'll know what size. So I'll come back with that. So I've added I've followed the line to create the shape. Made a little mistake here. I usually don't make these mistakes, but it's for whatever reason, either my eyesight's going or I'm having some difficulty reading, seeing the lines. So, but it's not a huge deal. The most important thing is the picture. And now, so I'm going to tape this down. You know, just there or about similar shape to the outline of the template they provide for you. And you don't have to do it perfectly. I say this all the time, because if this is yours. This is your creation as well. But it's important to place it down so that it doesn't move. So this is the beginning part, and it's just like when you're preparing a room to decorate, to paint. You know, when you're painting your bedroom or something, you have to prepare the walls. You have to make sure that you have a drop cloth on the ground. You need to tape up the areas you don't want, the parts of the wall you don't want the paint to touch. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So the important part is to get this, just get it ready. This might take a little extra time, but it's worth it, okay? And then what I do, I'm going on here and I'm placing, see, this thing goes right on top of that. And because I made that little square, I traced the outline of the shape of or the size of the background, I don't have to really think too hard. There's going to be some sticking out. And then what I do is I just place it on top so that it doesn't move, a little tape. There will be, with this fabric frays, but the thing about slow stitching that I really liked is that the fraying is part of the look. So even when you frame it, if you happen to frame these pictures, like this might be one that you'd want to frame, it's going to be, it has a frayed look to it. And I'll show you when I'm finished how it looks framed, but also I'll eventually, I'm most likely going to add this into a quilt with all my wattle and loop kits that I've done. So here we are, and I'm going to turn the light on, and you can see right through it. Now it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. If I put the template underneath, I wouldn't see it very clearly. Now it's perfect. So I'll do a little bit. Remember, erase. Make sure it's the marker that's erasable or washable. The purple happens to come out after a few days on its own. The blue has to be just rinsed out. I like the blue. I would suggest the blue. Make sure you pick the right one. And all of this will be in the links. But because you want it to stay until you're ready to wash it out. And how we wash them out is just placing them in water. But I'll show you. We're not there yet. So I'm going to just start to show you a little bit. Make sure it's on its highest light. Yes, there it is. And then I start to follow. Now, as you can see, there's a little piece over here that isn't on the backing. It's supposed to come off of it, as you can see in the picture. Just leave it. Don't do anything with it. And then, and these are just like little, like rough edges or ragged edges for the leaves, because that's the kind of leaves that sunflowers have. And I'll show you how to do that when we get to that point. So that's just the beginning of it, and I'll continue to trace, and then I'll show you, and then we'll move on to the next step. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Happy stitching.